Hey guys, Phil here with Universe Animated, and you know what? We just got the official trailer for Coyote vs. Acme, and it is packed with details. Remember, this film was almost canceled a couple years ago for a tax write-off, but it appears that they have realized this is going to be a great way to revive the Looney Tunes universe. So after watching the trailer at least 8 times, I wanted to share with you a few shots that'll give us an idea of what to expect from this film. Right away, we start with the Acme rocket skates. Now, this is a classic bit. We've seen Coyote use these several times throughout the series. But what we also see is a look at the animation style. Immediately, it reminds me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I also found some interesting connections between this film and that film. I'll talk about those in a second. I want to show you this next shot here though, the Roadrunner landscape shot. I only saved it because it's absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at it for a second. Next shot we get is Coyote's cave. This is where we get to see some of the other Acme products that he used. We can see the rocket here. It looks like the bow and arrow crossbow shooter over there in the right corner. A couple more rockets. Acme sells a lot of rockets. Rocket sleds, rocket skates. What is their obsession with rockets? I do not know. But in the next shot, we get to see Will Forte, who will be the main character, the hero. He'll be the lawyer defending Coyote against the Acme Corporation. Now, here is where I dug a little bit deeper into the lore, because come to find out, this whole story actually stems from a satirical article that was published in the New Yorker back in the 1990s. It was merely just a skit, if you will, positioning Coyote against the Acme Corporation. Now, if you've watched the series Coyote vs. Roadrunner or any Looney Tunes at any point in your life, you know Coyote has had the worst of luck with Acme products. Any Looney Tune that uses Acme products falls to the same fate. So the premise behind Coyote versus Acme is just that. Coyote and Will Forte's character are stepping up to the big corporation. On the corporation side, we actually have John Cena playing the big bad, representing the Acme Corporation in the courtroom. Now, I've seen Cena take on giants of men for many years. I am still a big wrestling fan. Recently, just watched his last match, but never would I have ever expected Cena to face off against the likes of Tweety Bird or Foghorn Leghorn for that matter. But here we are. Cena is not a bad actor in my opinion. That's a rare case when we're talking professional wrestlers who go into the acting world. Doesn't always translate. Not everybody is The Rock, but Cena has carried himself well. I think the Peacemaker series really helped him mold himself as an actor. Now in the next shot, we get a look at the painted tunnel gag, which has been used throughout all of Looney Tunes properties throughout history. That's another classic similar to the rocket skates, another classic bit that always makes me laugh, even when other film franchises hint at it. I think that's a timeless gag that had to be placed in the film. Now, this shot here, where we see Will Forte's character appearing in an interview, it seems. But what's most important is the subtext here. Acme case goes kaboom. That is the shot that had the engines turning in my head that made me seek out that 1990 New Yorker article. And it also made me look into the connections between this film and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Because in the next couple of shots, we see things like redacted documents. And then we also see Will Forte and Coyote and their team standing in front of an evidence wall. This is followed by a shot of an Acme case file, specifically 285 TA and 299 TZ. Now, I scoured the internet to see if I can find a direct connection. I did not. However, do you recall who the villain was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Who owned Toon World? The Acme Corporation. I believe it was the Acme family, the head of the Acme family, that was involved in some sort of relationship. Listen, don't blame me for not having the precise details. You tell me the last time you seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit. My point exactly. But I feel if you were to watch the film now, if I were to watch the film now, the connections would be blatantly clear. So there is a potential for them to make connections to Who Framed Roger Rabbit in this film. There's a point in the trailer where Foghorn Leghorn approaches Cena and he says, best that we not let anything else come out of this case. If I'm not mistaken, Who Framed Roger Rabbit ended on a bit of a cliffhanger that fans for years have waited on some sort of resolution for. So we may get that, we may not. However, I am loving the setup here, whether right or wrong. Now after that, we get a shot at St. Looney's, which appears to be some sort of asylum for Looney Tunes who are a bit too loony. I dig that. Clearly, this opens the door for some cameos. We know the Looney Tunes universe is ginormous. This could include a number of characters. Online, people are discussing the appearance of Marvin the Martian. When you look at IMDb and the cast listings, Eric Bosa, I believe is his name, is voicing multiple characters, and one of those characters is listed as Marvin the Martian. So that's gonna be cool to see. And then I love how the trailer ends on a cliffhanger with a shot of a Bugs Bunny silhouette. I mean, obviously it is Bugs, but looking at that shot, I had more questions, honestly, about where he is. It looks like a farm is behind him. There's a couple houses off to the top left here. And I'm just curious, what's the importance of where he is? Yeah, it's cool to have a Bugs Bunny cameo in a Looney Tunes film. We all maybe expected that, but upon first glance, that's immediately where my mind went. I was already in clue finding mode. Seeing Bugs Bunny at the end just put the icing on the cake. So, in my opinion, I think Coyote versus Acme is, like I said, a perfect way to bring some fresh life to the Looney Tunes universe. It opens the door for more characters to be introduced, as well to a completely new generation. So with that, that's really everything that I spotted. Let me know if you identified anything else in the trailer that may have stood out. I would love to hear your comments. And with that, that's all I got for this one. Stay animated out there, and I'll see you in the next one.